Hi, I'm Amelia from LSR and LSTV, and I'm here with the Student Music Network speaking with Johnny from the DMAs. How are you doing, Johnny?
I'm great. I'm great. How are you?
I'm really good, thanks. So you've just come off the back of the Kasabian tour. How was that?
It was awesome. We hadn't been to Europe for quite a while. And we've been Kasabian was a huge influence on us for us, when we were kids and like growing up and seen them play in Sydney before. And Serge had obviously stepped up as being the lead singer, and the band sounded awesome, and the gigs were great, and people that came down early, and just all in all, it was good vibes, and the band were lovely, and the crew were lovely, and yeah, couldn't be more happy with it.
Nice. And obviously, a new single came out yesterday. Everybody's saying Thursday's the weekend. Yeah, how does that feel to have that out now?
Oh, it's awesome. It's always exciting, a little bit nerve-wracking every time you release new music. But yeah, that song it's one of 12 songs that we're really proud of this new record, How Many Dreams. And once again, like every DMA's record, we try and do something different. We don't ever want to make the same record twice, and so we do a lot of experimentation and just try to do stuff that we haven't done before. But it's a fun song, it's a lighthearted song, and people went through some pretty heavy times during COVID, and obviously things aren't great now at the moment as well. So kind of we've kind of talked about DMAs is a little bit in our music, it's kind of like escapism, and where you can listen to the music and not have to think about some of the heavier stuff that's going on in the world, and that sentiment hasn't changed for this new record, and for that new song either. So yeah, it's just great to get it out there, and I'm looking forward to playing it live.
And that process of creating the album, I know you guys have said before that you guys have included a lot of songs that you wrote years ago on The Glow, for example. I think you said Silver was written before Hill's End. Is that the kind of same direction that you've taken with this album? Is there a lot of old stuff come back that you've kind of remodeled and put into How Many Dreams?
A lot of it is new. A lot of it's new. The opening track, How Many Dreams, was kind of written as an opening track. It's this dance rock stuff. It takes 2 or 3 minutes before you even get into it. And there's stuff like that I would never have done back in the day, that we wouldn't have thought of doing that for a record, really. And yeah, it's funny. We keep so when we started the band, we wrote 70 songs, because we knew that I'd been in other bands where if you release music and it starts going well, you want to be ahead of the curve. So it's funny. So every time we make a record now, you use 10, and then you use another 10, and then you reload the bank. And so I think we had about 70 songs again for this album, and then we dropped that down to 35, and then we dropped it down to 15, then we dropped it down to 12. We could have made a fourth album that was completely different to this one that we've just made. But at the same time, it makes me feel excited because we do have these songs, and they're going to get released one day. Yeah.
And that journey that you guys have kind of been on with your albums, they've all been, to me anyway, they've all been so different, but they still have that same sort of DMA's spark within them. You've got Hill's End and For Now, which focused on, I guess, more Britpop, and then you did the MTV Unplugged album, which was acoustic. The Glow had some more like electronic direction. Is that kind of what you guys see yourself doing with this next album? Is it kind of just more of an evolution of what you guys are wanting to be and what the kind of music that you're wanting to bring out?
Yeah, I think How Many Dreams is like a more hectic version of The Glow, but it's not The Glow 2.0. It's its own thing, kind of not too dissimilar to the way like For Now was like this evolution from Hill's End, and it was sonically so different, but it had a lot of the same sentiment. The funny thing is that by the time so we made this record in November, started making it in November, last year. It's funny, by the time it comes out, you're, as an artist, you're kind of already onto the next thing. I'm not saying that I'm not excited for this song, and I'm really proud of them of what we've done, but it's like you've kind of moved on already. So we're already thinking about album 5 and what kind of songs we're going to be writing and the production and all that kind of stuff. And it's funny, it's like you're always a year in front, or your fans are only hearing like the music a year behind you, which is a really funny experience.
And if with the new album, How Many Dreams, if you had to sum it up in 3 words, what would those 3 words be?
Oh Jesus. Too many songs. Not too many songs on the album, but we had too many songs to choose from. But they're the ones we picked, and we're happy with them.
And I'm sure that others we'll hear in the future at some point as well.
Oh yeah, you definitely will.
And so, accompanying the album, straight after the album, you're going on a UK headline tour, which is going to be amazing. And you're playing in some places for the first time, but you're also returning to some, really iconic venues like O2 Academy in Brixton, where you guys supported Cortinas on one of your first ever times in the UK, where you did that massive sellout show in Brixton in 2020, which is huge for the fans and for you guys as well. How does it feel to be going back to a place like that for this next tour?
Oh man, we're so excited. We've obviously got we've got a great attachment to Brixton. We did that live record that we're really proud of, and we're looking forward to going there and making it a completely different show to the first one. It's not going to be the same DMAs at Brixton. But also, one thing I love is I'm looking forward to not just going to the main cities. Obviously, we're going to a few of them, but we're going to a couple more obscure places in the UK. And I think that's important. I think it's important to make the effort and to go play these venues. And we'll always come back and we're always going to play the big cities. But I think it's great to make an effort to go play the venues in the towns that maybe we haven't been to before, or that don't get to see us as much. And that's one thing we're really focusing on this album is here and in Australia, is we want to try and get to those towns and make it as easy as possible for those people to see some music as well.
Yeah, definitely. Some of the places that you're going to are, like you say, in outskirts of cities, like near me, Bradford, I guess, is probably my closest one outside of Leeds. Is there any one in particular that you're really looking forward to playing at? There's some places that are kind of like I've never really heard of, places like Aylesbury, but you guys are going there now. Are you excited to play places like that?
Yeah, all those places. I don't think I've been to Bradford or Aylesbury. I think it's really important, and I think they can, it can get forgotten sometimes. And I'm really happy that we're going to go there, and we love playing music live, and we're really proud of the show. So just can't wait to make that happen.
And in terms of your set list, there are some particular songs that get huge reactions from UK fans that we can see. Like, you guys get a lot of flares at your shows. Lay Down, for example, Feels Like 37, they're huge big numbers where I've heard people kind of compare your gigs to like football games. Is there any cities that you guys have like a memorable moment of where you've just kind of looked out into that crowd and thought you'd only get this in the UK?
Oh yeah, we've got a lot of them. A couple of them were in Glasgow. When you play the Barrowlands, you see that floor just go up and down. And I think another time is when we first played the Victoria Warehouse, the venue manager came down and said we broke a new record of 27 flares or something like that, which was actually, that's right. Someone threw a flare on stage and it landed between my legs. And I just remember, like, just acoustic guitar doesn't really ever stop in the songs. So, and then I remember just this huge orange, all this orange smoke going in my face, and then just like kind of through the smoke, I saw one of our tour managers jump on the stage. I've never seen him be so agile, and he managed to to grab the flare and to put it out in the closest bucket of water. But yeah, stuff like that. They're it's a lot of fun, and that's what we love about the UK crowds. They kind of do have that football kind of camaraderie.
And so you guys are in the UK right now, and preparing for some UK headline tour starting, I think it's next week, isn't it, 29th? And that's, so you're doing a couple of shows in the UK. What are you most looking forward to about doing some shows back in the UK with some new stuff as well? I know you guys have been playing I Don't Need to Hide.
Oh, it's gonna be great. We purposely made the shows a little bit smaller. I've never played the Roundhouse in London before, and yeah, we're definitely gonna play some new songs. We're gonna play some old songs, maybe do like an acoustic, like the way we did the Switch acoustic. We'll probably pick another song and do that acoustic, which is also always so much fun, because one thing I'm the most proud of with DMA's is that we've got such a beautiful core foundation of fans, and I feel like they're they really love the band for our quirks, and they like us for how we like to change it up, and they come along for the ride for us, and they're really loyal, and they make us really proud. So I'm just looking forward to doing that again.
Yeah, definitely. And you guys played some UK festivals this year as well. You guys were on the main stage at Reading and Leeds, and you did play you'd play I Don't Need to Hide. How was it received this year? Like, what you've played from it so far anyway, how are you happy with how it's being received?
Yeah, I am. It's it kind of reminds me of when we first started playing Life is a Game of Changing live. And we had that riff, and because the recorded versions are quite dancey and pop, which we did on purpose. But when you play them in a live setting, the kind of our rock and roll roots really shine through, and they're this kind of weird adaptation of them, which it's sometimes I prefer them, actually. But that can kind of only come from playing a song over and over again live. And I Don't Need to Hide's really getting to that point now. And so it's kind of got that energy that it's like when we play, Cobra Kane or Life is a Game of Changing. It's this kind of like dance rock thing, which I love because I fucking love synthesizers and I fucking love guitars.
So we've got the album, we've got the single, we've got the tour, but in between all of this, you guys are going back to Australia, and you've got a huge support show with Arctic Monkeys at Sydney's Domain in January.
Oh yeah.
How, like, when I think about where you guys have come from, when I first saw you guys in the UK all those years ago, to you guys now selling out big arenas and supporting one of the biggest bands in the world, in your home country, how does it feel to look back on your journey as a band from where you guys started to where you guys are now?
Well, it's a funny thing. I'm obviously really proud of everything we've done. We've had some amazing times, and we're still having great times, and we're still loving being on the road. We're a little bit tamer now, not too much tamer, but a little more tame now. But we've got to see the world, and we've got to see the gigs grow, and we've got to keep releasing the music that we want to release, which is the main thing. We haven't pandered for anyone. We haven't pandered for the record label. We haven't pandered for the fans even, we've just written music that we want to write. And that feels great. We've actually never supported anyone in Australia. That's going to be fun. And, no better band to support than the Arctic Monkeys.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's not too bad, is it?
No, it's all.
And just one last thing that I wanted to ask, just to wrap it up. The title of the new album, How Many Dreams? Why How Many Dreams? Is there a reason behind the title, or is it just how you guys felt because it's the title of the first track?
It's the opening line of the whole record. Another thing I like about it is that it's a question, and it's quite ambiguous, and there's a lot of music these days where the lyrics are really direct, and I think lots of people I feel like a lot of people like that, but for me, I still like writing ambiguous lyrics. I like writing lyrics that make you think and make you not sure how you feel, or are open to interpretation, the same way that poetry is. And that's one of my favorite things of songwriting. And yeah, and I think a lot of people think, like, a lot of music these days I tend to be more direct, but I specifically kind of want to stay in this open to interpretation kind of poetry game.
Amazing. Thank you so much for speaking with us, Johnny.